guess who forgot to hit the record button during today's lesson? That would be Butler. So I'm going to do another lesson real quick. Okay, so 6.1 is about, so we're going to go through two lessons today, 6.1 and 6.2. It's all about scatter plots and creating equations for them. So a scatter plot is a graph that shows the relationship between two data sets. The two data sets are graphed as ordered pairs in a coordinate plane. So what this means is that scatter plots are probably what you are going to see more often in your life, because this is like when you get sample data from people and you just plot everything. Okay, so the first thing we need to know how to do is to read these graphs. Hopefully you know how to read these. You can see that your x-axis is fat grams and your y-axis is calories. The first question says, how many calories are in a sandwich that contain 17 grams of fat? Well, I know that my fat is my x, so if I come between here, boop, and go all the way up to there, I can see that that sandwich is 400 calories. Okay, if I go to part B, how many grams of fat are in the sandwich that contains 600 calories? I'm going to find 600 on my y-axis. Boop, it's right there. If I follow that down, then I know that it has 30 grams of fat. I'll be over in just a couple minutes. My Cafe Rio's here, so I'm going to go through this lesson quickly. Okay, now part C. What tends to happen as the number of calories as the number of grams of fat increases? Meaning, if my x goes up, what happens to my y? And if you look here, it looks like we have a positive relationship. Meaning, as one gets higher, the other gets higher as well. Hi, Tegan. Okay, so these are just talking about the different kinds of scatter plots you will see. You will either have linear relationships, which means it somewhat makes a line. You can have positive linear relationships, negative linear relationships. You can also have non-linear relationships, which is anything that does not contain a single straight line. And then you could have no relationship. Okay, for example 2, we are going over some vocabulary. We need to identify outliers, gaps, and clusters. So if I'm looking at this graph right here, an outlier is the person on the outside. So that little dude right there is the outlier. This right here, boop, is where you would see a gap. And then if you look right here, that is a cluster of points. Okay, so that's all it is asking. Oh, and then the relationship, to me, it looks positive because it looks like a straight line. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, so there's that. All right, then if we look at this graph, I would say that this has no relationship. And when it has no relationship, you don't need to worry about outliers or gaps or clusters, because it really, the data doesn't show much. Like, the data doesn't give you much information that you could share with people as like accurate data. Okay, I believe that is everything for 6.1. I'm gonna go eat my Cafe Rio, and after my Cafe Rio, I will make 6.2. All right, peace out.